Let's take a look at what Fox News is saying about affordability.
Budget. You need a plan. Also remember, adults don't need gifts, okay? Focus on the people in your life who are age 3 to 18. Grandma doesn't need slippers. If they don't live by you, don't get them a gift. Now's not the time to spend and break the bank sending packages across the country, Dana. Focus on the people in your life, ages 3 to 18. That's my...
Wow. I mean, that's good. They are promoting being frugal as a value, as a virtue, and Americans need a lot of that, okay? Americans need a lot of that. I think it's good. It's good. It's not a bad thing. Who needs Christmas gifts anyway? What are we doing? Christmas is a hyper-consumerist holiday, and I think it's good that they are promoting a significant scale back of gift giving. This is yet another thoughtful instance. Everything is fine. Everything is good. They're basically saying, share experiences with your loved ones. You know, your presence should be the greatest present. Now, I think this kind of commentary, all jokes aside, this kind of statements coming from Fox News is a red alert. Do you understand? Because like the only thing that Americans have is treats. And now these guys are basically saying like, hey, we might be in a recession. It's not looking too good. Maybe you should scale back on your fucking treat giving and your gift giving. That is the greatest red flag and perhaps one of the worst things that you can tell an American, because as I've said over and over again, the only thing that an American has is affordable treats. If you take that away, the entire social fabric unwinds. There is nothing holding us together at that point. I also personally love this because as a woke anti-Christmas warrior who has fought numerous fronts in numerous battles year over year in the war against Christmas, the Republicans have basically gifted us the ultimate victory. As you guys know, I love fighting in the war. I love waging war on Christmas. And here are the Republicans saying, let's just cancel Christmas. Very cool stuff. I like seeing this. Where can this go? What do you have? What do you have? As an American, I mean it seriously. What do we have if we don't have affordable health care, let alone free health care, and we don't have affordable housing? Wages are shitty, stagnant. People who lose their jobs can't even fathom getting a new one. What the fuck is there left? What is there left other than being able to take on debt to purchase Domino's pizza on your applications, on your Uber Eats? The Bureau of Labor Statistics now says it won't release a full U.S. jobs report for the month of October, as of 5 hours ago. Instead, the agency said the October payroll data will be released along with a full report for November. An unemployment rate for October will not be included in those figures because the data could not be collected, the BLS said, citing the shutdown. Wow. Very cool. Very normal. Definitely a good sign. Seems good to me. Yeah. No, it's because the payroll data is too good. Hey, guys, how about we don't think negatively? How about we think positively about this? What if, hear me out, what if the payroll data is too good and we don't want other countries to get jealous? What if we're winning too hard and Trump actually doesn't want to release the information about how hard we are winning so that, you know, the Democrats don't look too bad? What if the Republican Party is actually just as considerate of the way that the Democrats look as the Democrats are of the way Republicans look? What if that's the reason? You guys always want to think negatively, but I urge you for once to think positively. Yeah, the United States is too hot. It's so hot that other people get jealous and then they want to attack us. And I think our glorious, dear leader, Donald Trump, expertly has decided to control the narrative and to ensure that other countries do not have negative opinions about us because of their jealousy, because we are so hot from the standpoint of hotness. Some might say the hottest. That's what I think.
Donald Trump forced a Coca-Cola company to use real sugar in Coca-Cola. Meanwhile, China built another 7,000 new bridges. I heard it from Hasanabi. He's traveling in China right now. But I mean, who cares about the fucking bridges? It's so boring. The great people in the United States of Israel, after they paying a lot of tax, when they're hungry, they can just drink a bottle of Coca-Cola and watch Netflix. That is democracy. That's how fancy it is. You know, like capitalism. When you compare to capitalism, compare to democracy, China just look like an old nerd. Oh my God, so boring bridges. I hate China.
I agree. Seconded. I'm glad that there's someone who understands that bridges are lame, boring, shitty. Connecting people. Ugh, what are you going to do? Commerce? Who gives a shit? I briefly brought this up in the Chengdu Panda place, but China and America, as far as their like similarities goes, Chinese people and American people have a lot of fucking similarities, and I don't think either side would acknowledge that or even appreciate me saying this, but I mean this in a nice way. There's still a shit ton of car reliance within the infrastructure itself, something that I brought up. And it's also a proclivity towards consumption that Americans have as well. I'm telling you, Chinese people and American people share a lot of similarities. They are significantly closer in their cultural attitudes than you would think. Not even a joke. They're Ameriboos like I am, you know? So I understand that. Like they look to American culture as a positive. Like the anti-American commentary is like a relatively new phenomenon from what I understand in China. As far as like not having a lot of reverence and respect for American brands and institutions is a relatively new thing. And I think it's partially because of China's rise as a recognized global hegemon. It's like the last decade attitude shift. But overall, for throughout the history of the PRC, I think that Chinese people have always looked to the United States of America with great respect and also with great reverence and also with a lot of want. They're doing America better than us is what I'm saying. That has also been a really interesting thing, though. Like, every fucking province and every major city is entirely different. Like, they have, like, it almost feels like the difference between Chicago and New York is less significant than the difference between Chengdu and Chongqing. And that's crazy for me to consider because the distance is not that severe. But I guess it kind of makes sense because it's the same as, like, Birmingham and Liverpool, right? England is a much tinier nation overall than China, and yet there are ginormous differences and differences in dialect and differences in cultural attitude in different parts of England. You change zip codes and you barely can understand one another, right? And I think that comes from the fact that people have lived there for a very long time. There is a long history. And I think it's the same with China. Because it's been around for fucking thousands of years in some way, shape, or form, there is a lot of culture that has been built on top of the places that now exist. And it's really interesting to see that in a much larger country, and then compare that to a large country like the United States of America that was developed in an incredibly short period of time, as opposed to a place like China.